warm hoodie. So, what's up?
Welcome back, everybody. We're live. Welcome to the Can-Am Connection, and of
Representing. Where's
course,
Tim at?
I'm the only one not representing Arm Sports Entertainment.
Hey, Tim, I know you hung over right now, but Nathan and your boy are representing. So there you go.
Hungover. He's probably still asleep.
Yeah, he hasn't woken up enough to be hungover.
Yeah.
So we had a big weekend. Where you guys want to start?
Huge. Let's go KOT. I think that's a good spot to start, right?
I'm eager because I worked 2 doubles all weekend, so I didn't see a goddamn thing. I didn't see a darn thing, and
Funny how you
I was able to catch Arizona State at work. But go ahead, let's hit it.
Well, I don't think any of us did really good.
2, 3, 3, and 3.
I picked
2, 3, 3, and 3.
I'm the 2. You 3 tied with 3.
Yeah, so we all did the shits, and
Yeah, none of us are above 50%, so nobody wins this weekend.
However, I think the tiebreaker should be Schoolboy versus Bowen because I'm
No. The tiebreaker is Ryan. You called all 3 matches at Arizona State on the head, so you win.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's talk about the first one, Schoolboy and Bowen.
I don't want to say I was shocked. Like round 1 didn't really shock me. I guess what really shocked me the most was that last round when Ryan committed to coming inside with Schoolboy. That was a potential lane.
Man, had he done that from the start,
right?
It could have been a different match.
He looked good in there, and Alex didn't look super happy in that lane.
No, I think Bowen could have. You figure that thing out just a little bit too late.
I watched his post-match thing where he said, typically he'll try to adjust throughout the match, and this time he second-guessed himself and just relied solely on his King's move, which I think ultimately came back to bite him in the butt.
So, I'm assuming Schoolboy won the way you are talking.
Yeah, he won 6-0, but it wasn't like everybody thought where it was just going to be 6 straight flash pins. He made Schoolboy work after round 1. Ryan was, I don't want to say in the match, but it wasn't as easy a match as everybody thought it was going to be, especially round 6.
So before we go any further, everybody's Dustin, Jay Clean, Marco GT5, Dean the Welsh, 7/8. Everybody, welcome to the show. Happy Monday to y'all. Got to get that in the press. See, I gotta get our fans out there,
I'm just hydrating.
So 6-0, huh? Bowen went down.
Yeah, but it wasn't an easy match.
Yeah, well, it was good, but we got, Ryan is definitely going to go home and he's learned something from this. However, I don't think we're going to see a match between them again anytime soon.
No, and I honestly think after watching that result, I guess we need to talk about the next match. No, we need to talk about that one because Schoolboy called out Ron Bath and Lachlan Adair. And after seeing the Lachlan match, I don't think that's close either. So
styles make matches, I'll say that.
What are you saying? You're saying that Lachlan and Schoolboy wouldn't be close? For who?
I don't think it's a good match right now. I think Lachlan has to go back to the drawing board and rethink his process of things as well.
Oh man, I don't know about that. I think
Lachlan, I would rather see the Ron Bath match personally.
I think Lachlan kind of
there was something up with Lachlan. I think in this match. I'm not discrediting what Paul Lynn did. Because he made that match look ridiculously easy.
Hey, did he do a big weight cut though? Did Lachlan do a huge weight cut for that? Because he looked
he looked pretty
lean. Even in his face.
That's the thing with these catch weights,
No, that was 105. That's not a catch weight.
Lachlan walks around at 105.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, a catch weight would be like 108 or something. Like they both couldn't. Like somebody couldn't make weight
And maybe I might have used that term wrong, but like when you cut down to meet somebody at a certain weight that you're not accustomed to, you're bound to sacrifice something, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. And Paul, is bulked up for the match. I mean, he was only, I think, 102 or something. I mean, he wasn't a full 105.
Well, if we're not talking about that match, let's talk about that match. I mean, my God.
That was, yeah. I did not see that. That was ridiculously easy for Paul.
Oh, he's a guy that just keeps getting more and more powerful.
And I think it also shows how one-dimensional Lachlan is. It really showed in that match.
I don't know, man. Sometimes guys try to do something and they just can't. And Paul, there's nothing super flashy about his style, but he's just.
Well, he sets up very awkward. He's very.
Yeah.
Like this and stuff, and
it's fundamentally
has that weird.
Got so much power.
Yeah, I mean, there's really a lot to talk about in that match, except the fact that Paul Lynn made Lachlan look very, very.
Average?
Normal?
Yeah, average would be a great word.
Let's say
very average.
And he's not.
And that's the thing. He's not at all. Like, he's the number one arm wrestler in Australia for a reason. I mean, he's beat everybody, but like, it shows that there is clearly a gap between the Australian level and the United States, and then from the United States, there's Europe. So
that is true. I mean, as much as, and I think because you're on a what's that term that people use? You're on an island unto yourself. And Australia's kind of like that, because if you're the kings of your country, and that country's not very big by any means.
This leads me that leads me into a point what I'll come to earlier about, like, you kind of have to. People are going to have to start making sacrifices to improve, like getting out of their comfort zones, and a lot of people don't want to do that. So, yeah, there wasn't a lot to talk about in that match, except it was extremely one-sided, and Paul Lynn looked amazing, and Locky looked very average.
I will say that on this next one here, Rivas versus Georgi Zoranov, had I seen a photograph
of
Georgi before the match, I might have picked differently.
Georgi was so big,
massive compared to what we've seen from him.
And like Rivas was 170 kilos, right? Yeah. Like, let's not take anything.
What's that? 364 or something? What is that?
Yeah, like big, almost.
Oh, yeah.
100. I think 180 is like 200. It's like 400 pounds. So
374.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm not trying to like say here at all. Yeah, I mean, he's 170 kilos, but he looked like a soft 170. If you know what I mean.
They look very different, like
doughy.
Yes, very doughy.
He looked muscularly bigger.
But Georgi, his game plan was so good. I mean, first round goes outside, gets the slip, it gets to the strap, and then just stonewalls, just utterly stonewalls Rivas.
Yeah, I thought he'd make some adjustments, but Georgi top roll was even worse.
And Georgi was so smart by setting everything up the way he did outside the strap that he started getting those flash pins outside the strap with that top roll. Because Rivas was so scared to go inside with him in the strap.
Who's Travis got coming up?
Kalinchenko?
Yeah, Sergey Kalinchenko.
Yeah, I want to talk about that a little later. Not so much Kalinchenko,
but Travis.
But Travis versus also the USA card he's got.
Camille.
Like,
Travis isn't. Yeah, we'll talk about that. That's crazy. Yeah. But Georgi looked amazing. Yeah. Michael. Michael. I told Corey this at the thing. I said, I've told Michael this too. I said, every time I bet against Michael, he wins. So I will continue to bet against him. That way the streak continues. I like seeing Mike win. It's really good for North American arm wrestling in general. Let's be honest, and it's good for Michael too after the 2 or 3 years he's had that have been just catastrophic. Let's be honest. But man, that first round where he just straight cup and on Lars, like, he met Lars in the middle, press for press, and
yeah.
Never king. Michael never kings. Then Lars started setting up super open with a king's move, fully pronated, and Michael still was able to get the job done 6-0. Like,
you're doing the same move Michael's trained for. He knows how that works.
Well, it's not even that. There was a massive strength disparity in that match, and I didn't think there would be, but there was a massive strength disparity.
I think Jody and I both got that pick right. And stylistically, I didn't think the match would look the way it did. I did not think
I
he'd
didn't
be
either.
able to do what he did. I thought he would win. I thought he would King's move, and that would be it. But
He never once King's moved. He was
wow.
impressive. Like, let's be honest. Like, it's definitely his press is back. You know, I mean,
I originally thought that was going to be the first match Michael had off of surgery, but they flipped. So, but nonetheless, still came out with a win, and
got 2 in a row.
When Michael
Todd now he's got David Samusia. No, Daddy Can. Sorry, Daddy Can. Yeah, at 115.
The match that Devin was supposed to have. Yeah. Now Michael Todd's going to take.
Yeah, I meant Daddy Can. Sorry. I think that's that's interesting for sure.
Good morning, Mr. Pickup. Well, in your case, good evening. How we doing? Hope all is well in your end.
Yeah.
The next match is the one that shocked me the uttermost on this card.
Oh yeah, me too. Because I don't remember how I picked on this one. Did
every single one of us picked on Gurbayev.
But Trinko on Gurbayev, like that was crazy.
It was so the way
that wasn't even entertaining. It was so one-sided. Like
the way he attacked Gurbayev was just utterly perfect. He allowed Gurbayev to get where he wanted. And he was so confident in his hand, Trinko was, that he could allow Gurbayev to go back, and then he just rolled over top of him every time. He stayed high, stayed in the center, and just to the side.
Jake Trinko, let's give him his props.
Yeah, I mean, Gurbayev even tried going inside, and that clearly wasn't a route to victory.
Just when you thought you know something, you don't, right?
Yeah, it was impressive, man. To me, that was. It wasn't match of the night by any means, but to me, that was the most impressive performance of the night by far.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know Keter Gali is where Keter Gali's been, what he's done, what he's accomplished, who he's beaten, who he's gave matches to. But for Trinko just to come in and
I don't think he's taken a loss like that in a long time.
I can't tell you the last time he took a loss like that. Even his match against Levon, as one-sided as it was, he still was able to give Levon a little bit in spots. There was just no lane for Petrenko. I mean, no lane for Keter Gali in this match. Petrenko was just so dominant. And where does he go from here? Do we see him where do we see him? Who do we see him fight next at 105?
I think a lot when you have these events kind of somewhat close together, once both of them are done, then you can kind of start doing that. So I think once East versus West is come and gone, then we can kind of start seeing where we may see matchups and that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Do we see him at that? Do we see him and Daddy Can at 105?
Maybe.
Good possibility.
Yeah.
But it was scary. That was wow. Is all I can say on that one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a statement.
100%. And I thought, left arm, it was obviously one-sided for me, but apparently right is too.
Yeah.
Do you think, okay, here's a question though. Do you think that it was so one-sided because it looked so one-sided because Gurbayev was prepping specifically for Todd Hutchings?
I hope not.
Because remember, there is a switch there, and you have two totally different style of pullers.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting theory.
Can I ask you a question? Does that
it takes nothing away from Petrenko's performance? Don't get me wrong, but I don't know because I know he was specifically training for Hutchings. Obviously.
Is this the opposite arm though? Right?
No.
Same arm.
Same arm.
I hope that's not true.
So I don't know. I just thought, maybe hypothetically, but no, Trinko looked amazing.
Well, let's talk about Vitali versus Camille because
I was right. Those two.
You were right, but there's an asterisk, man.
Why is there an asterisk?
If you want to know what I'm talking about, even the commentary team was highlighting it.
First off, Ray said it several times wrong. That it was Vitali Tan touching
We're talking about the starts in 2 of those matches.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about there was a couple times during it where Ray's like, well, it was Vitali's hand touching Camille's shoulder. Well, that's still a foul. Like it doesn't have to be your own. Yeah, and like I think that got twisted on the on the live stream on like, oh well,
not for me.
Still a clear foul.
No,
I know. Yeah, but I'm saying like to maybe somebody that's not you or me or Jody or Tim or somebody that's But yeah, I understand what you're saying about some of the starts because it wasn't centered and Camille was like this.
Yeah, and to say that's not a factor, I think it is a small one. Camille was in the matches, okay? Like it wasn't as one-sided as the result might indicate.
No, and like I think we have to give Vitali his props too because in round 1, Camille was fully in that press.
Oh yeah,
Vitali was here, and Vitali pulled him back through that press.
Yes, and
that's a lot of side pressure.
Yeah,
and we knew it was probably going to take a couple of goes.
Yes.
For Camille to actually be effective against him.
Yeah. And I think that showed in rounds 5 and 6, right?
Now, yeah, I agree with you. I think that Camille is on the rise still. He's still going to be the king someday.
I mean, do we know what hand he's pulling Travis with? Because I don't care. I still pick him over Travis because Travis is, we'll come to that. But
well, Travis has got half a dozen matches booked by the sounds of it. And
but no, like taking nothing away from Camille. I mean, Vitali on the left arm is arguably the best in the world besides Morozov. And
yeah, which
that's a tall ask, right?
Well, and Matt Yushchenko was
dude. Everybody thought Matyushenko was just going to get killed, but I'm like, you guys
look vulnerable.
Everybody clearly does not know how good Ivan Matyushenko is. I mean, you can count on one hand how many people at 100 kilos, at 100 kilo weight class, held a prime Denis Saplenkov left-handed. That's one, and that was Ivan Matyushenko. I don't care if it's a practice pull or not. He held prime Saplenkov in the center of the table. And yes, Matyushenko, I believe, could have won that match, but endurance played a big factor.
All problems.
Yeah, he did. And I think endurance played a huge role in that match too. Morozov definitely has the bigger gas tank. I think we all knew that going into it. But I mean, Morozov set up for that low hand so much, and Matyushenko still just.
Let me ask you, what did you think of the first? Was it Camille and Vitali, or was it Morozov and Matyushenko, where they had a running foul going and they called a win?
2 more fouls. Yeah, that was the Matyushenko and Morozov. And this comes down. I was going to touch on this after we talked about the matches, but it comes down to the whole running foul thing and how I know if it's done right, it's good because I never once saw the referee tell Matyushenko he was on a runner.
And was a runner even a thing at that in the championship? I was confused between
exactly, right? Like, you never saw, how do you still go? You're one foul, runner, 2 fouls.
That's the referee's responsibility because I've been in matches before where, I had a running foul, so I know I have to win just to get the restart. But lo and behold, my opponent may bobble his elbow off the pad. Now the ref goes, okay, we're live.
Yeah, now, but they don't do live there. They do, okay, you're on a runner. He fouled. The match stops. The person that had the first runner gets the foul.
The problem is, and this is something people will need to train for, because a lot of people, I will say, I won't say most, I'll say a lot of people do not hear anything when they're in the middle of their match. They hear go and they hear stop, and that's it.
Yep.
You know why I hear it? Because how often are we on the table competing and you may see your opponent bob an elbow come off the back and you're yelling at the ref, hey, watch his elbow. I mean, we're communicating as we're pulling too, though.
So funny story from Arizona before we get to that. I was refereeing a match and a guy goes, he fouled, took his hand off the peg and had a warrant. He already had a warning. He took his hand off the peg to point out the fact that he had the guy had a warning and a foul. took his hand off the peg, point at the guy's elbow. I said, stop the match, second warning, loss, win. And he was mad. Well, how'd I get my second warning? I'm like, took your hand off peg. That's your second warning, foul.
Hey, I totally get that. I had a match last year in England, and I was pulling Jason Hill. And Neil, you remember this. And I went to hit, and he drug his elbow, like trying to bail, and his elbow came off the back of the pad. Now, had I would have stayed there, he would have got the foul, but I took my hand off the peg saying, look.
I was reading Neil's comment. I think that's spot on, Neil. Like 100%. Like they're like the running foul in arm wars and the running foul in KOT are not the same thing. They're not even relatively close to the same thing.
I've never actually questioned a running foul in the arm wars promotion because it's done a little bit. Well, you're I think the big difference too, right, with that, Ryan, is the referee that is reffing arm wars, is so used to reffing under the running foul rule set that he makes it very obvious and very prevalent that you are on a runner or that the match is now live. Yeah.
Right. Whereas, you have Risto and these guys that are not used to the running foul system. So they're going to miss things. Like when you're used to a rule set as strict as WAF and stuff like that, you're going to miss the runner because
isn't that why we have all these meetings and stuff? Like,
yeah, but I still think it comes down to the fact that, it's hard to adjust sometimes, right? Like it is hard. It's hard to have championship matches that are under a rule set A and a rule set B, in my opinion.
No, I mean,
I love the way Neil and them do their running foul system in arm wars. Like I like the fact that if Jody and I are competing and Jody fouls, he's on a runner. I now have the option to just lay that match down and go, oh, hey, I can make him get the foul now, and now, or I can keep I'm in a good spot, so I can win the match. Like I can't lose. Like that's I love the way arm wars does it.
My least favorite rule that was employed for the championship matches was that there's warnings in referee's grip.
And we talked about that too with Knuckles Up, right, Ryan? Like you have the 6 warning system, which I'm not a fan of. If you're going to have 3 foul system, take away the warnings. And they did that in the other matches.
They took a foul away. Yeah, there was a warning system in the foul. There was one less foul.
There was also a lot of confusion in the main event with what round it was, who had what fouls, how many wins there were, what round we're in. Like, and that stuff happens. But Haristo knew what was going on, and like you'll hear, in the commentary you hear Neil say that Ray ran off to get everything clarified, which was great for not only them commentating, but it was great for the person watching as well. But to me, that was the match of the night, though, the Machuchenko-Morsov match, hands down.
That seems to be a problem that a large venue problem for the pay-per-view events where the 2 commentators or 3 commentators or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You won't have a clear communication system with the people.
Yeah, we talked about with Knuckles Up too, right? Like there were times where you guys were sitting there very stagnant, not knowing what's going on. So you're kind of sitting there trying to make small talk with the audience to let them know, hey, we're trying to keep things flowing, but at the same time, you're trying to like almost cover for what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I still like when at one of the King of the Tables where Tim had the headset on, and that was a down ref. And
they used to do it back in Zloty in the day too.
Yeah, but these are small.
Yeah, very much so. All in all, it was a great card. Even though there were some very, 5 of the matches were extremely one-sided, but they weren't so the fact that they were one-sided doesn't take away the fact that it was still a great card. Like they were so one-sided, they were impressive, if that makes sense. Like they were there was a shock value to how one-sided they were. Like even the Bowen and Schoolboy match, even though it was a 6-0, it wasn't as one-sided as everybody thought it was going to be. Like Ryan made Schoolboy work, which was impressive. The Lachlan Paul, you have to be impressed by what Paul Lynn did, stepping in there and just going through Lachlan the way he did.
Absolutely.
Georgie and Rivas, very one-sided. But if you're not impressed by what Georgie did to Rivas,
I mean,
what the hell are you
they're
doing?
close enough that Georgie still had to tire him out a little bit before
Yes.
he dominate. So I mean, I didn't think that was a bad match.
No. And then the Angera and Trinko, I mean, oh my God.
And sometimes you see a guy like Georgie show up and you just look at him and you're like, holy shit.
Like, what is he like? Yeah. Like, what cave did they pull him out of?
Yeah.
Like seriously. But yeah, like the two last matches, great. Like the first 5 matches, yeah, they were one-sided. But they were still a very good one-sided. They had that shock factor, they had that all factor. And then the last 2 matches were worth the price of admission alone.
Yeah, I bought the pay-per-view and I waited till the next morning to watch it, and that was away, and then I watched UFC live. Which,
I was obviously.
You want to bitch about judging and reffing? Oh my God!
And then I was reffing Arizona, so I wasn't able to watch it live. But as soon as I was able to watch it, I started watching it, and I was like, holy shit!
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then we have 3 more super matches to talk about too.
We got 3. Which are they?
We had Joe Meek and Don Underwood. We had Mega Mike, and then we had Giannis and Austin Tevis.
Mega Mike.
And I picked them all right, correct? What was the score on the KOTT?
Tim 3 right, Ryan.
Oh,
really?
How convenient.
You must have got a phone call.
Sorry. I had a phone call come in.
Son of a bitch. Give me a bonus point for that.
So Ryan 3 right, Jody 3 right, me 2 right, and then Jody got 2 of the super matches right at Arizona. Ryan got all 3 right.
There's your tiebreaker.
Winner.
Yeah. So Don, I mean, I was reffing the Don Joe match, so I can give you exactly the play-by-play of how that went.
Absolutely.
Don.
Yeah, that didn't make TV, by the way, because Greg Brown TV had the super match on his channel. For some reason, because
we had technical difficulties. Yeah, it's on YouTube. By the way, it is on YouTube. You can see
it.
There now? I called. So every match went to a ref script, which is fine. They weren't that hard to set up. They were both pretty fairly easy. I've had way worse. Don, I called Don on 1 foul total, and that was a false start in a ref script. But that was
amazing.
It. I mean,
that's amazing in itself, right? Because you were expecting.
Yeah, I was expecting some elbow fouls, but I mean, let's not take anything from Joe. Joe's a very strong guy. Joe won the tournament. The Supers tournament in the tournament left-handed. Fairly, he beat Mega Mike. He beat Anthony Lowe.
Wow.
So I mean, he won the left. So, but Don was just, a little level above Joe Stronger. His speed off the start was too much for Joe. His side pressure was too much for Joe. But like I said, I'm taking nothing away from Joe. He did a really good job with Don. Because Don's tricky. Don's, an old school guy. Has been doing this a long time. And Don goes, nobody ever gets me for false starts. I'm like, well, I did. So.
But here's the difference, though.
I think you're picking on him. Go
ahead.
No.
You listen to the referee. Yep. Whereas in the bigger promotions, the referee kind of lets that slide because they don't want – I don't know if they don't want any, I don't know why, but they let the athletes get away with a lot more, which has all these issues where –
And then the Mike match, I was shocked. That wasn't one-sided.
No, I watched all 3 of them. That was
very close.
One of those matches where that guy literally goes up in losing because of
it's literally right here.
He was.
We're talking a couple percentage points.
I thought Mega Mike was going to smoke that guy, and it was not the case.
That dude's shoulders, I swear to God, were as wide as my whole entire upper body.
You know who I want to see now?
Who? Don and Mike?
Mega Mike versus Paul Passmore.
I don't think that's a match.
You don't think so?
No, because I still think the version of Paul that you have now still loses to the version of Robbie we have now.
Really?
100%. Right-handed, especially.
Now that's a good match. You just made the match, Nathan. For me, Robbie versus Mega Mike.
I think it's a good match. And then we come to the last match, which was Giannis and Austin. And I caught a lot of shit from some North Americans because obviously I was in the corner of Team Latvia in this. because I
You
have
were like literally in the corner.
Yeah, I was in the corner with Raymond Zantanovich and
Jody did that too. He did that with me.
Giannis.
So hey, you know what? Why are they giving you shit about that?
Because we had a North American puller pulling a Latvian.
And you think I didn't get shit when we had the North vs. South event last October, and I'm in the corner of a Canadian? You think that? And hey,
Giannis is my coach, and I have a connection to Team Latvia, so I don't really give a shit. People can hate me all they want.
Down.
But
ain't your soapbox, is it?
No, it's not even close, buddy. But so round one, Giannis cracks the wrist outside the strap and holds on, and everybody's like, oh, it was Giannis did a lot of damage to Austin's wrist in round one outside the straps, hanging onto him because Giannis's hand is ridiculous. They go to the strap, it happens the same way. Giannis takes the wrist. Austin elbow fouls, get a restart. Giannis takes the wrist. After the slip, Giannis was in cruise mode, like he does. You can tell when Giannis starts. Giannis is just in that flow where it's just he's comfortable. Yeah. Even in round 3, he told Austin, "Come in, let's go inside. Come inside." He held him there and told him to come inside.
Well, yeah, when you burn his wrist like that, yeah.
No, he offered to let him come inside in a hook.
Oh, okay.
Giannis held Austin and said, "Come inside, let's hook." So,
well, he gave it a good go.
Yeah, I mean that was a big ask. I mean that's a big ask for anybody in North America. I don't care if it's 176 or 198 to beat Giannis. So
he fought well.
He did fight very well.
Yeah, he did. He did pretty good.
He did better than anybody else. He did. Better than 99% of the people that would pull Giannis left-handed in that weight class. So
true.
Yeah.
So I'm taking nothing away from him. His stock doesn't go down. He's still right there. I mean, it goes up if you think about it because of what he did to Luke Kent in the 198. So.
Yeah, the tournaments where he got pissed off was just lighting people up.
Getting revenge. But he's facing a guy he wasn't supposed to beat. So
nope.
No. It was a no-lose situation for him. He just got
100%.
And he didn't.
Nope.
Yeah. So good on him. Let's you guys ready for your moment, your soapbox?
Oh yeah. Here's my soapbox.
Both got one.
Here's my soapbox. Like I understand there were multiple events going on in North America this weekend on Saturday. But here's my soapbox. I'm extremely disappointed in not only the women of North America, but the men of North America as well. And here's why. Not just the United States,
big group
not North America. Yeah, I don't care. So here's why. I understand a lot of people went to Michigan State to pull because it was a East versus West qualifier. And I understand qualifying.
Everyone wants that gorilla too.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. But why in the absolute hell, if you had the means to travel this weekend, did you not come to Arizona and test yourself against some of the best pullers on the freaking planet?
Because I had to work.
No, not you. I'm talking. I said if you had the means to travel to a tournament this weekend.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's like if you went to another tournament and didn't come to this one and you traveled out of state, all these people bitch and complain about, oh, I want to test myself against the Europeans. I want to test myself against the Europeans. You had your shot. You had your chance to pull the best female arm wrestlers on the planet. You had the chance to pull 2 of the best male arm wrestlers on the planet. But when you have, I think we had, I can't remember the exact number, like 12 to 15 women show up. Huh? You'd rather go to a tournament where you pull the same people every other month instead of coming to test yourself? So if I hear anybody bitch anymore about, oh, I want to test myself. No, you clearly don't. You really don't. Because you just missed your opportunity. You had them in your backyard 5 minutes from the freaking airport and you went to a different tournament. So,
and can I touch base on that? Because there was a lot. I mean, you got Michigan State, that was a tournament. And I
won California.
Yeah, the Kenny Hughes Memorial. I mean, that's a big tournament they have at the Apricot Festival every year around this time. So, and I get all that, but I can kind of see where they're coming from, but I see where you're coming from too. We always talk about that, like what you just said. You know, I want to test my stuff, you know, because maybe you don't have the financial backing to go pull
worlds
or
yeah.
You know, but you have it here in your own country, in your own backyard, so to speak, and you don't show up. It's like, what the fuck, you know? Like, why didn't you show up? So I mean, I get that. And then I heard my man Greg Sharp was in attendance there at Arizona.
Greg showed up. Greg showed up to support and see everybody.
Did you see his post too?
Oh yeah, I talked to Greg.
I mean,
this is where my soapbox would come from, but you go ahead and finish yours.
Did you guys see anybody that came from around Arizona that actually flew over and pulled Michigan?
There might have been a few, yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I mean, for women's arm wrestling specifically, you had a really, really good opportunity to rub elbows with, absorb some knowledge, and test yourself against some of the world's elite.
I asked Paige Williams, I didn't realize she moved. She actually moved to Michigan. So I was like going, damn, Paige, you must be a badass knowing that Arizona State was in your backyard and you went to go get you a gorilla statue. And she messaged me saying, hey, just so you know, my partner relocated from a job purpose up to Michigan. I'm like, that makes sense. Yeah. But
I will say this, though. I mean, there are Arizona was a big event. Okay.
Yep.
But Michigan is also a big event. Michigan State has been one of those tournaments that I've been thinking about for, 5-10 years attending, to the point where, I might plan for next year's event now.
Well, let me piggyback off that, Ryan. Like Michigan State's every year.
Yeah.
Arizona State's every year. But these ladies don't come every year. The Latvians don't come every year. You can always do a Michigan State. You're never guaranteed to be able to pull those people again.
Not that they have it on the same weekend every year.
I don't think they will, but my point is you could have foregone. I'm not taking anything away from Michigan State, right? I'm not trying to say people shouldn't have gone. That's your choice, whatever. But I'm saying to those people that always harp up and talk on social media about, I want to prove myself and X, Y, and Z. Shut up. Don't say it anymore.
Well,
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that shit.
It was a lot cheaper to fight Arizona than it was across the pond, and that's not, because like I said, not a lot of people.
Like I said, even the men, like Tom's Rositz pulled 198. He won 198. But don't you want to pull the guy that just gave Oleg Jacques hell at Europeans if you're a 198er? Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Do you think
you got Raymond Antonovich? Raymond's is an awesome arm wrestler. Took second place to Mario Tambakis. Credit to Mario for beating him and Arson.
And Mario, that's.
Hold on 1 second though. Danny took fourth to those freaking animals.
Yeah.
At 220.
Well, it's Danny Gilliam. Come on now, he's a badass.
But I'm just saying, give him, like, people don't realize, like, there were 18 people in that class, and Danny took fourth to Mario Tambakis, Raymond Antonovich, and Arson, who took second in the round robin.
Dude, do people not know how good Danny Gilliam is?
I'm just
saying. They don't give him much credit. They don't give him. Well, they don't give him what he deserves. But Danny's the kind of guy that's low key, and he kind of just goes and enjoys it and does it. He's not your in your face kind of guy. He's just
no. But I'm just saying though, like to get that to fourth place to those guys is wow. But and then like you had Fia and Jocelyn's the only person Fia had problems with. Left-handed.
Yeah.
I mean, they pulled a little right-handed after the event, and I won't disclose how that went. That's between them. I did see it.
Come on.
No.
Somebody would have taken a video of that.
There's no video of it. I promise you, there is no video of it.
If you were there, you were there.
Exactly. It's exactly. It's one of those things. How about Lee Aaron? She beat Victoria right-handed.
That's impressive.
Twice. Then she lost to Catalina. Which, okay, yeah, Catalina's a beast. Nobody even came remotely close to Fia on the right. Jocelyn didn't pull right, and I completely understand. I mean, she had 2 hard weekends in a row.
So how'd that practice pull go?
What?
Oh. So what you're saying is Jocelyn won the practice poll?
Nick is like, oh, hold on, somebody's calling me. Hold on.
Oh, no. What was that? But no, like it, back to the ladies thing. Like there were so many ladies that went to Michigan State for that East versus West qualifier, and then that some of them even said they were going to be in Arizona to pull them, and they still didn't go.
Well, my soapbox kind of segues after what you just got done saying, Nathan. You want to
Oh,
hear?
I know exactly what you're about to say. Unleash, Jody.
So, Greg Sharp was in the house. Okay, my dude, World Series of Arm Wrestling. He then puts out a post on Facebook because up until this point, I've gotten a couple calls, from a couple ladies. Not going to mention their names, but they're asking, "Hey, is there any payouts for the ladies?" And I was like, you know what? I don't remember. And I I was at the finals last year, and I was like,
there wasn't.
I know they had watches and stuff, but I don't. There's the payouts. I can't remember. So I asked Greg. I said, "Hey, man, is there any payouts?" I asked a couple people who might know, and Greg said, "Well, no, because we don't get a lot of ladies that show up." Okay, cool. So now Greg proceeds to put this post out there and goes, "Hey, you know what? I do support women's arm wrestling, but it's hard for me. Basically, I'm just paraphrasing him. It's hard for me to kind of put out money when ladies don't show up. So I'm going to do this." He puts a scale out there about first, second, third, and everybody kind of a lot of people chimed in on that comment saying, even Bill Collins, like, I've given out money, but sometimes they just don't show up. So here's my soapbox, because I commented on this. I said, look, ladies,
here's your chance.
Yeah, no excuses now, because
oh, don't even say that. There's still going to be them, Jody.
It fries me. They say this. It's like what you said about the guys or whatever. This is for the ladies. I'm saying, like, you know what? Now we had this influx of athletes on the ladies division, and it's like going, okay, y'all say this, but yet here it is. So when you go to the finals or go to any of the qualifiers, hell, just go do that. Whoop ass, qualify, go to the finals. That's where the fucking money is, at the finals. I don't want to hear no shit about, well, this tournament had no. Don't want to hear that. Just like Nathan was saying about the guys, about I want to test my frame against Europeans and yada 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 yada, right? Then for the ladies, it's the same thing. Don't sit there and cry about, well, the women should get paid. Okay, when the shit's out there, no one fucking shows up.
No, I'll go even one further on this, Jody. The last all ladies event in Texas was 2 years ago.
Yeah, put on my shirt, right?
Yeah, $500 payouts to the women. Guess how many women showed up?
9.
12.
Okay, I was off.
That's pretty good.
Total. Huh?
If it was one class.
Look. The first year Sarah threw that on there, she had a lot of people. And for some reason, it kind of dwindled down and stuff. So I think now with this influx of all these ladies coming out.
Hold on. You want to hear something? You want to hear a statistic?
Oh, go ahead.
Statistic, Jody. How many women do you think there are in the United States on the Aries system?
I have to go look.
I'll give you a hint. It's in the triple digits. Just triple digits.
Without looking?
Yep, I know it. 300.
300.
That's
So
it.
what are we doing?
That's it. But when they talk about, women's arm wrestling needs to grow, I agree. I would love to see it grow. I would love to see it be just as big as the men. I would love to see the payouts be just as big as the men. But the problem is they're just not wanting to show up to places. That's the thing. Like, if there are payouts, awesome. Like Texas State does the same payout for men and women, $500 a class.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Devil's avocado.
Okay, be the advocate.
You have all these men around North America.
They don't show up either, though.
You have, a couple thousand arm wrestlers that are male, and they show up to an event. 1,000 of them will skip it because
they don't want to lose.
They don't think they can win.
Oh, what the fuck?
Right. So you have a handful of guys that will show up and be willing to test themselves. Are we being too hard on the women because there is just a much larger amount of men that are willing to show up and test themselves?
No, because
And
it wouldn't be treated the same.
proportionately, is it a similar number to the men? If you're going numbers based puller for puller, is the ratio the same? That's the question.
Well, here's where I understand what you're saying, Joe Ryan. I think there's truths to that, right? There are truths, but at the same time, how do you know where you're at level wise if you don't show up?
Well, I mean, on the flip side of that, let's say you know for sure where you are, at least relative to the competition that's going to be there. And if you know, somebody said Ryan politician mode. If you know where you're at relative to the competition, and you know you can't be in the top 6, which means you're not getting the money, do you still put out the money to go, or do you maybe opt to go somewhere else? Because, here's the other side of it. If you know the tip of the spear people are at one event, maybe you can slide in there and get a top 3 finish at the different event.
Right. I mean, I guess it comes down to a mentality thing, right? Are you afraid to lose, or are you just trophy hunting?
Probably
well, yeah, but I mean, if you know, like, you're going to go up against Fia, and you have a 1% chance of even slowing her down.
You have 1%.
Okay, but
take your 1%.
Well, I'm being generous because some of these girls.
No, I know what you're saying, but like,
have a zero chance.
Yes, I know, but here's the thing, though. Here's my case. Okay, so let's say you have a tournament with 3 women that are guaranteed to win. Like, we all know it, but there's no payout. But you're going to go to another tournament where there's no payout, where you can get a trophy. So you'd tell me the trophy is worth more to you than the experience of gripping up and possibly learning from one of the best on the planet?
Possibly, depending where you're at in your career.
I guess that comes down to an ego thing.
But it is different for different people, because in 1999, I made the choice to drive 14 hours to go to a tournament in Calgary because I knew John Brzezinski was going to be there.
I think it comes down to person, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a personal preference. Like the whole thing about the payouts and this, that, and the other, like, I think we could offer it all day, and until they start showing up. And this is men and women. I'm not just targeting both. Like, payouts are great, but if you're not willing to show up, the payouts are going to go away.
Well, the payouts are going to be there for the hardcores. I don't think money is going to incentivize somebody enough just to show up just in case.
Yeah, for me though, like, I would rather take my ass kicking 100 times over than win a medal or a trophy. I want to see if I can stop you. Like, if, Giannis didn't pull right-handed, but obviously Giannis and I dabbled a little right-handed back in the VIP room, which was great. My thing is like, I want to see where I'm at compared to where you're at. Like, I want to see if that level is feasible for me or it's not. So, like I said, I'd rather go somewhere and take a complete and utter ass whooping and have wars than just go win a medal or a trophy.
I just don't think we're judging the women by the same criteria as we're judging the men.
I'm only judging the women because they're the ones that are saying it. Trust me, I know a handful of ladies.
Well, if they're saying it, they need to show up.
That's the point. That's the ones who I'm directing. Like, granted, Michigan State was there. Who doesn't want a gorilla? But if I'm Paige Williams and I got a shot at Sarah Bachman, and just for the sake of argument, how many people outside did she even compete? Well, there you go. But
if you're Danielle Evanson, Danielle went to Michigan. Danielle should have been there to crack at Catalina.
Danielle, you can't criticize Danielle. I mean, this is the third weekend and third event in 3 weeks that she didn't
pull left-handed at that other event. She could have came and pulled left-handed against those girls.
I guess so. I have a hard time.
How about this?
Hold on. Jocelyn pulled 3 weekends in a row, and she still came and pulled left-handed against Fia.
That's fair, but I mean, Danielle is a hop, skip, and a jump from Michigan. Like, she's in Wisconsin. Like, she's just across the lake. That I have an issue. I can't be critical of her. I can't. He's pulled so much, whether it's left-handed, right-handed, or whatever. Multiple super matches, round robins, then a big tournament. I can't fault her for that.
It's all about what the preference, like Nathan said, because I'll put it to you this way. How many people outside of Canada thought Jocelyn was going to come out victorious in that round robin? And then when they...
No, you didn't.
I said it on the podcast.
And then when she went undefeated, it was like,
you want me to go back up and pull it up, Ryan?
Okay, I believe you. But not many people thought that was going to happen.
So, with that theory, anything can happen. So you think, well, shit, if Jocelyn can do it, I'm like, hell, maybe I have a chance to crack one of these. Look at Lee Aaron. Didn't Lee Aaron beat Victoria? You said?
Twice. Victoria Carlson. She beat her twice right-handed.
Yeah. So, again, it's all about perception. But then again, Lee Aaron's like, she competes at a very, very high level. She wanted that for her own self more than anything else. But for
she gave her a match left-handed, too.
Yeah. So one or the other, I'm not going to start naming off ladies because I don't want to piss people off, but it's out there because I'm like, look, y'all say that. There's a group of them that went to Michigan. Cool, fine, whatever. But there's a group that probably should have been down in Arizona because of who was there. Now, granted, if the Swedes weren't there, would there be more going to Michigan State? Who knows? Would there be more going to the California one? Who knows? But a lot of it is that, I don't know, because from the same token, Jocelyn leapfrogged Michigan State from Ontario to go to Arizona. So,
and I can tell you this after speaking with Jocelyn, that loss to Fia, boy, howdy did it spark a
practice room?
No, that was in a match
tournament. Boy, howdy did it spark a fire under her ass.
Did you see her reaction after the match?
Oh yeah, she was mad.
Yeah. So I mean and there's that. So. I'm not going to hate too much because I understand. I mean, some people want the gorilla. Cool. I would love to have one on one of these panels back here too. But of course, I got to be there to get there. But I think it's personal preference. But
I can't get a gorilla. I'd foul out in their AAA rules.
Well, I mean, again, are we going to see another all women's tournament? Who knows?
Hard to say.
I think the viewership is there.
Yeah. I think it's there too. I mean, I think the ladies round robin did amazing. I would love to see more of those. I mean, we had 24 women show up.
That's been the best women's class in the States
years.
The John Brezink Cup. Because Brezink every year down in Utah, Bob Brown puts the John Brezink Cup on in Midvale, Utah, and Gabby shows up. I mean, Danielle showed up. Sarah Elizabeth showed. I mean, they all show up. So. They show up there too. Angie Rose shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Jolene, I love Jolene. Jolene's so fun.
That's in her backyard, but yeah.
Yeah, but Jolene was in Arizona.
Fuck. Hey, look who got a left hand win on Jolene. Oregon Zone, yes. Katie Hankey got a flash pinder. And she was ecstatic. Yeah, she says that might have been my only win, maybe a second one, but I'm ecstatic for that because now I know where I stand. There you go, right there. That's what we're talking about.
What do you guys? What do we got coming up this weekend?
I have to go to Shreveport.
There's one in is it Jacksonville?
Not this weekend. Was it this weekend? Next weekend is the Challenger Series down in Florida.
Yeah,
that's one we got to pay real attention to.
I thought you wanted to touch base on Travis's upcoming matches.
Yeah, let's go, Travis.
Well, I mean, what do we got? We got
Travis and
Sergey Kalanchenko.
Dude, Sergey's that dude.
That's scary. On 13. That's East versus West 13, and then on 14,
he's got Camille.
Is he still pulling Derek Smith at the Challenger Series?
And then he's got Challenger Series Derek Smith. So he's got 3, and then somebody said there might be more.
You better get him out the way before the NFL season starts.
Well, it looks like that's what he's doing. When does the NFL season start?
A training camp starts in August, and then season starts in September.
Okay, well, I mean, he's got a busy summer lineup.
So realist, he's pulling Sergey right-handed.
Yep.
I mean, Sergey just beat Ferret not long ago. Do you think Travis right now could beat Ferret?
I think Travis has a chance against the first 2 matches he's got lined up, including Sergey. I think he's got a chance.
Oh, Derek Smith and Sergey, but Camille, I give him nothing. I mean, he's never done good against pressers.
It's
like, okay, hold on. Let me rephrase that. He did well against Jerry under WAL rules. Okay, we're not talking WAL rules.
Oh, and apparently he's pulling Cody Merritt before Camille. So
where is this at?
Justin, give us some details. Where's that match happening?
Because I heard about it too, but I'm not sure. I don't even know anymore. Because how many times have you heard? Well, I guess if they're making posters about it, I guess it's true. But
well, I mean,
yeah, okay.
With a guy that's been inactive, he is going right into the deep end of the pool progressively. Like, I mean,
yeah, because Sergey Kalinchenko at 115 is top 5 in the world, pretty comfortably. Yeah. And super heavyweights, I would almost put him inside that top 10.
It looks like these matches are lined up in perfect succession from least to most difficult.
Least difficult is Derek Smith left-handed, 100%.
Yeah, so he would go through all of these guys, and at some point maybe he stalls and the rest of them fall out.
I don't think he beats Sergey. That's just me.
Well,
I don't think he beats Sergey. I don't think he beats Camille.
Well, I mean, it's not unfathomable that he could.
I don't even think he doesn't even beat Cody Merritt, in my opinion.
Even Cody Merritt, give the man some credit.
I'd say he doesn't even beat Cody.
I just text Cody right now. I asked him when and where.
When is the last time? Okay, when is the last time we saw Travis in a quote unquote tough match? I can tell you, it was against Paul Talbot. Paul Talbot.
No, I wouldn't say that. A real serious match where he actually trained for it? No, I wouldn't say that.
We haven't seen it in years, but I'm saying
last Moldova.
Last time he pulled a tournament where there was actual competition there for him was Paul Talbot, and Paul Talbot's 95 kilo butt or 85 kilo gave him all kinds of fits.
All right, so Cody says he's pulling him July 20th in Salt Lake City.
Whew.
That's not far.
That's Cody's home area too.
Yeah,
so, Cody wins.
I mean, I gotta get the 411. That. But here about Paul Talbot. Listen, I'm gonna say this.
Did you? Hold on. Did we see that Paul Talbot's pulling Varej at the King?
I did see that.
East First West in Florida.
Yeah,
that's a man-sized challenge right there.
Varej. The Varej was at Arizona, by the way.
How come he didn't pull?
He's got a super match coming up. Paul Talbot.
Sounds like it's an excuse, just like never mind.
Because I mean,
go ahead, Brian. Let's hear it.
Travis just happened to have these tournaments in his backyard where he knows he can beat everybody. Paul Talbot's happened to show up. The only people that are good that show up there are like him and Artem. Other than that, he pulls all these backtown guys and just smacks them all and then thinks that, hey, this is who I am. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit for it, but I'm fucking telling the fucking facts.
I just want to say, after this weekend and hanging out with Toms and gripping up with Toms and watching Toms do to people the way he did to Luke Kent, Austin Tevez, every other 198 there, Artem has exactly 0 chance. I just want that to be known. And people can say, yeah, well, you want to bet?
Cody's like, that's when he wants to do it, but we'll see if it happens. So
yeah, but I'm just saying, Toms is so I gripped up with Toms and I gripped up with Raymond Antonovich. Raymond Antonovich's hand is absolutely huge and not comfortable, but Toms' hand is smaller and way more uncomfortable. Like, it's not small by any means, but it's smaller than Raymond's and it's still way more uncomfortable than Raymond's.
Yeah, the pressure points, huh?
It's not even that. It's just there's something about it. It's weird. It's hard to explain. Very hard to explain. Oh, hold on. Look. See this? I got a lot of shit for this too. I'll show you.
What's going on? What's happening?
Break down the fourth wall. Here we go.
What's happening?
I had my Giannis and them gave me my Team Latvia shirt, so people gave me a lot of shit for that too.
No, I have one that actually has the traditional spelling.
And then it has, all the stuff on the front too.
Just for showing shirts.
And
Yeah,
then
I got the Latvian Arm Wrestling Federation with the tree. That's all spelled in Latvian and everything. So
Since we're showing shirts, there we go.
yeah, people hate me right now. I'm okay with it.
Team Ontario from my man Dan Plexman. You even got the on the sleeve.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh.
Then you got.
I actually, Ryan, I'm going to be speaking to the man that runs the Ottawa Open here soon. So.
Oh, Mr. Eric Roussin.
Yes, sir. I'm going to try to make it up there this year.
Eric is the #1 historian in all of arm wrestling.
Well, I'm going to talk to Mr. Roussin about coming up and doing the Ottawa Open this year.
Mm. That's a big tournament. That's a big tournament.
I would love to do it.
Have you talked to Mr. Knox yet about the Nationals?
Yeah, he said everything's covered for that, but that's okay. So that's why I'm going to talk to Mr. Roussin about doing the Ottawa Open, which is probably the second biggest event in Canada.
I would say so.
Nationals.
Yeah. It's Quebec provincials. Who knows? Like they had over 600 entries.
I said it's usually, quote unquote, the second biggest event, and so.
When is Canadian Nationals?
Not far away.
Not far. It is. I will be there refereeing, and we are going on the 29th and 30th of June.
Where's it at?
It is in Gatineau, Quebec.
Quebec, Canada.
And the following year, in Regina, Saskatchewan.
I thought it was Regina.
No, it's Regina. It's pronounced Gina.
Wow, because it's weird from,
Oh, how about
Americans will say Calgary and you'll say Calgary. I'm like,
Did you guys see Corey pulled the tournament? Miller.
No.
Yeah, he pulled supers and got third.
Oh, beauty.
So first was Anthony Lowe. Anthony Lowe won the supers right-handed. Third was Corey, and then the guy Lachlan Carpenter from Australia took second.
It's impressive that those Australian guys came over.
Yeah. With him, Tim has a good relationship with those guys because they'll come over in December.
And then Anthony. So here's a funny story. After the event, Anthony and Mario gripped up.
And
it wasn't close. Anthony was,
both arms.
What does that mean?
Like it was not close with the right or left, really. Well, Anthony's left. He tweaked it in the tournament against Joe Meek. So he actually laid down to Mike in the semi to get to the final.
So who won? You're saying it's not close, but you're not.
Yeah, Anthony kind of handled Mario pretty comfortably, right-handed. So it's a match I would like to see it at 220 for sure.
Yeah.
Is he gonna get down to 220 or is he gonna stay up in the supers?
So Anthony, as soon as this Ayers thing is over this month, is dropping right back down to 100 kilos.
That's June 22nd, by the way, people. The next Aries event.
And then for the event for Greg out here, he will be 239.
Hey, we got
wow.
High Five is coming up again, the number 4.
Is.
So
September 14th, right?
I want to say something about that. I was about this whole people getting butthurt about shit. Last time after the High Five event, Ryan, you and I were both critical of the High Five for a few things, right?
I wouldn't say we were critical.
No, I mean, we gave constructive criticism.
I only had one Well, I think my only real critique. I mean, obviously, we don't like delays, right?
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't that. We had two. Remember how the screen gets muddled with all the same color going on, right? It gets muddy. We said the same thing about Arm Gods. How it gets very muddy. And then we talked about how having the warnings in the ref script were kind of not good because you're already getting 3 fouls.
I agree.
And I've talked to those guys since that, and they, they're like, yeah, we appreciate the feedback.
I see where you're going with this.
Yeah, I'll say no more.
Hey, well, I'll fucking say it because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they asked.
So why is it that you could talk to them as an organization or promotion and they accept feedback, but some other people can't accept it? They get all fucking pissed off.
High Five wanted it. They're like, basically, they said to the competitors after, like, tear us apart, like, give us all the feedback. Like, they wanted it so they can get better. And honestly, wasn't a lot to tear apart. I mean, we're talking about contrast. We're talking about a couple rule changes. Yeah.
But if you want to get better, you're going to need those kind of reactions from people, so you can kind of sit back and tweak a few things, so that way the next show, September 14th, will be a lot better than the last show. So when all these organization promotions come out and they hear feedback, if it's positive feedback, thank you, we're going to keep rolling. If it's negative feedback, oh, screw you, you're not a big fan of arm wrestling anyway, and blah, 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 blah. It's like,
And
look,
and
man,
like the thing is too, like people bitch about stuff, but I still buy every fucking pay-per-view. I buy every one. There's not a King of the Table I haven't bought. There's not an East versus West. I bought Mac. I buy all the High Five guys.
I try.
You know,
I try to, but
I buy every single freaking one of them. I watch every single one of them. You know, like I've had talks with Ingen about stuff. I've had talks with Tim, obviously. I just ref Tim's event. I've had talks with the Knuckles Up guys. I've talked with Chance Shaw. You know, I've talked with every single one of them. We've had conversations with Neil Pickup. You know, and they're all easy to talk to. I'm not a hard guy to find. If somebody has a problem and wants to discuss something I said, get a hold of me. I will gladly, engage in dialogue with you.
It's and I don't think people should be dismissed as haters when they say something.
You know, if I buy your event, obviously I'm not hating on you. I'm still going to buy your event. I'm still going to support you. Like, I support arm wrestling as a whole. Like I said, I buy every freaking pay-per-view, whether you don't like me as a person, whether you don't like what I have to say. I'll still buy your freaking event just to watch stuff, just to watch it, just to see how people are doing and support you. But don't label me as a prick or I hate you because I come back and give some feedback, because I think there are definitely some things that people are trying to remake the wheel, and the wheel's still round. It's going to keep rolling.
Thank you, Joe Nelson. Joe Nelson says the only way things get better is to have critique. Thank you. And that's all we're saying. I think people are too sensitive nowadays because it's their own product, and it's like, all right, we get it. Sure, it's your baby. No one's breaking it down, but for the
for argument's sake,
you want it better, this is how we got to do.
And the thing is, like, I've repped for some of the biggest promoters in North America. I'm hopefully going to be going international very, very soon to rep for even more big promotions and promoters. That's in the works. I've repped some of the top athletes in the world. So it's not like I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to these things. So, like I said, if people don't like what I have to say, get a hold of me. I'll engage in dialogue with you. Because I hate to tell you, I'm a pretty smart guy when I want to be. So.
And there it is. There you have it.
Yeah, I agree. And
Ryan, how long did we sit and have conversations for after your super match with Robbie?
Like that day?
Yeah, that day.
Oh,
countless hours, right?
Quite a long time.
And yeah, we had intelligent conversations about arm wrestling pretty much the whole entire time.
That was into that was in the afternoon, and we stayed there till the UFC was over.
Which was after midnight.
Which was well after midnight, yeah.
So.
And yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm not hard to find, guys. If you want to have a conversation with me, if you want me to give you feedback, if you want me to come to your event and do stuff, I have no objections to doing that. But if I give you criticism, likely it's because I'm coming from experience. So.
Joey Justafalo is back.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Hey, what happened to that super chat by Jay Clean?
There was a super chat in here by Jay Clean?
No. Remember, he said on the last show, I wrote it down too. Jay Clean, $20 super chat.
If what?
I don't remember exactly what, but I knew I was going to bring that shit up.
Oh, man. It was if somebody beat somebody.
It was somebody went 6-0. I think, was it Paul Lynn? Or was it Schoolboy?
I don't remember.
Did he pick Ryan Bowen to go 6 over Schoolboy?
Yeah. If Camille got a pin in the first 4 pins, that's what Jay says. So.
Oh, well, I mean,
off the hook.
Hold on. No, we win technically. Hold on. You technically win, Ryan, because round 4 was done on fouls. Round 5 was the 4th pin. Camille got a pin.
Oof.
technicality.
Ooh, you broke it down. Ooh, like a
we
football
got that.
coach. You broke it
Just,
down.
just throwing that out there.
We'll just have to leave that for Jay to decide what the
Yeah.
right thing to do is.
Sorry for the technicality, Jay.
All right, guys, we should jump off of here.
All right.
And Jay, you can
Always
digest that for a week, and next week you can decide what to.
Jay's like, hey.
Bad call.
Did he say asshole? Is that what he said?
He said bad call. Joey.
Yeah, it might have been.
I thought he said asshole. I was like, I accept that.
And I think we
totally
all
accept
agree
that.
that Camille got screwed, and the king will return soon.
You mean when Vitali beats Morozov, right?
Oh, we got asked a question here, and maybe we can unpack it a little bit next time. But let me scroll back here.
What was the question?
Muratov versus Morozov. How would that go?
Morozov 6-0.
I don't think so. But maybe we'll see that match next for Morozov. I don't think you're gonna. I mean,
Morozov. No. I was thinking something else, but we won't see that. We'll see Morozov versus Matyushenko, and we'll see left-handed Vitali versus Morozov. I think before we see that.
Yeah, I agree. I think Vitali will probably beat Morozov.
I'm sorry to beat a dead horse, but good Lord. Fucking Vitali is so fucking huge. I mean, from a height perspective.
Man, the Camille big guy, and Vitali just looks like a giant next to him.
Yeah. And he's over 300 pounds now, which is scary.
Yeah.
And looks good over 300 pounds, like healthy-ish.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, on that note,
hey, $2 super chat.
Yo Daddy 22, $2 super chat.
Hey, but you know what though? I want to shout out to
we had 2 injuries.
AJ Henson, Dallas Langston. You guys heal up pretty soon.
So AJ tore his distal, and then Dallas tore the one off his labrum. So.
Well, the distal is a better injury to improve your arm wrestling if he gets the surgery and gets it connected properly.
He's 100% having to get the surgery. It rolled up.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Dallas is definitely his fully ruptured as well from the upper. You can see it drop down. So
yeah. All right, gents, let's call it a day.
All right, guys. See you later. See you next week.
Enjoy your Monday.
See you.
Tim, we love you, man. We rocked your shirt for you today, brother.
Even though you no-showed us again. See ya.
Later.
Take care.